Okay, we should be live now. Hey, can you still hear? Yeah, can you still hear me?
How's it going?
What's up? Okay, so we is
Your
live.
boy Unseen Warfare.
Man, this here, let's see, Wolfer. Let me show this man some. We was kangs and shit. Hold up. Actually, I don't know if you want to cover that. I don't know if Machine wants to cover that either, but that Gypsy Crusader, the racist guy, I covered it with Anna, and I should have been laughing more. I was just like too tired to like
I don't
really.
know anything about what you're talking about.
Oh my god, it's funny as hell.
I
It's
mean, I know who that guy is. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't think anybody doesn't know who the guy was or
oh,
is.
oh, you know who that is. I mean, but I have a good one for you right now. I'm just gonna play this for a few like 1 minute or so. Just give me a heads up if you want, if this stuff is like making you want to leave, because like I'm not, like last night I know I was playing that Fugel saying and Wilson thing. I was super tired, so
Well, I'm just to make this clear for anybody that's watching. Like, not everything that this person's probably going to be saying because I've seen his content in the past. Like, I hold those beliefs or something?
oh
Just
no,
saying.
yeah, no, well, and neither do I, but I do find it very inter- interesting, entertaining, and poignant, but not because I necessarily agree with it. I mean, actually, I'm going to show you someone else for the moment. Let me show you this. Hold on. Because I showed you Jim Bob earlier, right? And so he has a new
Wait, what are you guys
show.
talking about?
We're talking about well, we were talking about Gypsy Crusader, but now I'm going to show you guys what's this, Jim Bob and Hello Listeners new show real quick here. Hold on 1 second here. So I'm sharing my screen now. So, and we're live, by the way. So
over to the fence, and the dogs all
I don't know what
tried
this
to.
is about or anything, but I just wanted to show you guys. I never watched Jim
Booms. Boom charmer.
Oh, another boom. Let's let him come in. Craig, welcome, Craig.
You know what it's kind of like?
And I do like.
It's like Tom
Like
goes to the mayor.
us.
I'm talking about
It's like what?
Us.
like the show Tom
Nice,
goes to the
Alec.
mayor
Nice job.
on Adult Swim.
But you do.
Oh, I've never seen that
Trying
show.
to improve the levels here.
Remember today you said on your show, never talk tech.
I just want to get it.
It's just weird that this dude comes out of nowhere and
Okay.
like makes a show
Well,
with Jim Bob
then
randomly. I think that's
about a
pretty
thing.
interesting.
I figured it.
They probably go to the same
He's
parish.
called
That's
me
my
something
guess.
Yesterday, and I was like, yeah, that's it.
That's a good guess.
That's
Probably.
what
Is there no audio for American? Just.
But I think it's because they're both artists, so they're trying to do like artsy.
They're like,
orthodox
For you werewolves
stuff
are
or
like,
something.
cool, Bella. Can we write an?
and she's like, yeah, I'm. That sentence for me.
Which is
Please spread your
interesting to
wings
me,
and
but
fly.
it's like
Don't let me hold you
it
back.
looks like
They're
there's
halfway
literally
through
no
a fence,
content here.
screaming.
It's like
Whoa. Like their heads are.
I'm yelling.
it's like just nonsense
God,
stuff.
Well,
Well,
Well, they
I-
think
you know-
they think this is a new
Well,
version
and
of Dead to the
help,
World,
thank you.
right? They think they're doing an extension of the punk stuff or whatever.
There we go.
But it's just like
And chaos. And
I mean,
then
experimental
I'm
art.
angry And I'm yelling.
Which, those guys that initiated Death to the World were two Orthodox guys. That's the irony of all that, because they were rockcore in the 90s. Like that 90s rockcore type stuff. This was influence. Like you had the true Orthodox Greeks as a huge influence on a lot of that material. I have that material. So I mean, I don't get it, because in one hand you got early Death to the World magazines like talking about the KGB torturing women, putting out samizdat pamphlets, which was like anti-Soviet, pro-true Orthodox catacomb church documents. And then you got now they'll put like a Soviet quote saint in the same magazine. So what is that? It's like some weird schizophrenic type thing going on there.
Yeah, I guess like it's like, is this a LARP? Is this qualitatively better than watching, you know, a comedy show that's not orthodox themed and doesn't have, shittily cartoon drawn like crosses over it or whatever. Because that's
Well, maybe
essentially the
it's
only
like
thing.
from what I've seen, like these guys are taking like Gnostic and for instance Dugan's types beliefs, because I think that's who's influencing a lot of the material and at least the aesthetic of what's going on now with like the Father Deacon Ananias guy and all this other stuff. I think these guys are hugely influenced by those types, and these guys don't make really a distinction between sort of like this Rosicrucian uh belief system with an orthodox mask on it, that's why they can say sort of like have like the whole sanctify the land or something, this idealistic Chiliastic concept or something. I don't know, it's very weird.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I haven't really figured out what's going on, but it's just like the art itself is like disturbing. So it's like I don't know. I mean, I
It's
guess I
like
do it.
it's like Tom. It's like it's like Tom Goes to the Mayor or Tim and Eric show, but it's like do you need a lightly Christian themed version of that? Is that qualitatively better than watching just Tim and Eric, right, or something like that? Right? I
Yeah,
guess that
for
would be a
sure.
good question to ask him, right? I guess that would be the the greatest value that could be achieved by that type of LARP.
Yeah, it's like I guess offensive art for recovering satanic artist or something. I
Recovering Satanists, Orthodox art for recovering Satanists. Yeah,
don't know. I mean, I'm sure people could make the same argument about the stuff that I've done. So it's like, I understand
right.
the hypocrisy
Exactly.
of it. So
Exactly. Yeah, that is a critique of mine. Yeah, he's not a real Muslim. Look at the art. So, yeah.
exactly. So I understand that that's like going to be turned back on me. So, but still, I still think it's a question worth asking because it is like just odd. I mean, let's see here. So I just put the link out, so hopefully some people will come and watch. But Machine, do you want to cover a little bit of that Gypsy Crusader thing, or you said you had other stuff, so I don't really care. Like, I don't have a plan, but I do
I
have a
mean,
lot of stuff to cover, so I don't
I
really
mean,
care
we have
which one.
Unseen here, so let's just watch this video instead, I guess, because
Oh,
this would be more relevant, I guess.
which one? The Fugal saying or whatever. Well, I
Yeah,
showed it to him
Fugle
last night.
saying
I don't know if he wants to still watch that or not. So, uh,
that's outrageous.
yeah, it was pretty. I mean, honestly, I was offended listening to it, and that's pretty bad. So it's like extreme blasphemy essentially.
Yeah, but I think Wilson gives a few things away there, right?
I'll be right back,
like
guys.
he's
Sorry.
yeah. I'm gonna wait till Unseen comes back. I'll say this again, but the thing about where um he's like, well, like he says that Paul tells women to obey their husbands, right? And then Andrew Wilson says, well, it also says for husbands to obey their wives. That tripped me out. Right? So he makes a few like liberal concessions in the debate, and they're pretty interesting, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. I think
Yeah.
it was
Well,
like
the thing is that he's fighting him with kid gloves. So it's pretty funny
oh,
to
that
watch
is
that because he's a
well,
big
well,
name guest, right? So
well, yeah. I mean, I think that's what I was saying, and that's why I had to stop watching because I was doing other things and I was getting really frustrated. Like he had so many opportunities to just like slap this dude in the face,
yeah,
with stuff, and he just let him.
yeah,
He just let him
yeah.
go,
But
and I was
that's a
like, it's getting
video.
annoying.
Yeah, yeah, but that's a video. I know if you turn on I know I could pause it like a thousand times and give analysis because
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
just that easy.
Well,
Because that
let's
is a
just
video,
let's.
action packed with stuff, with content.
What was this one with Elijah Schaefer any good, or was it all nonsense?
I have not looked into it yet. Oh, you're saying this one that's live right now?
Well,
That
it's
was a
the
different
one with Are you back? Wednesday?
No, he's not back yet.
Okay.
But
the one where he's talking about Judeo-Christian values as a psyop or something.
Yeah, I didn't take a look at that one.
Okay.
Yeah, we could watch that one if you want.
Or
Yeah, turn that one on.
I mean, I have so much stuff, dude. So I mean, I've built up for like a long time, but I kind of want to watch the Gypsy Crusader a little bit, just because that would probably
we
be,
could watch that till
that'd probably
Tin
be the
comes
most
back, I guess.
entertaining for people. I just find I actually found it.
Yeah, but I don't think Unseen would want to watch that one. That's why I was saying let's go with the debate.
Well, if he
All right.
goes back, he doesn't want to watch Alternative for sure, but let's just do a little bit of it
because it's kind of like there's not a lot of like information.
Well, I think there is. I mean, I think there's something there, but it's not as straightforward. Captain.
I mean, other than like,
Jake.
you know, like he's accusing him of wannabe black guy, and he's accusing him of being a wannabe white guy. That's basically all it is.
Well,
it's
yeah,
like two pieces.
That is interesting though. It's like, okay.
Oh,
all right, here we go.
You know what I mean, right?
I wonder. Yeah, should we still talk to that guy, or is it racist friend, or do you want to just?
It's totally up to you.
Fuck it. Let's bring him on for a second.
Yeah.
Let's bring it on. Well, let's spice it up. He's a lot more. He's a lot more controversial than me. I think I'm gonna put our headphones on.
Oh, okay.
So we can get heated for a second.
First of all, this guy's been on Joe Rogan. I don't know if you've seen this guy.
Yeah. Which one, Jake? Yeah, Jake is famous.
He'll
He also went to Israel.
Not this guy in the suit.
You're ready for? Oh yeah.
Oh,
I'm a liar. And where are you guys from?
We're from Israel.
Yeah, and I remember watching the Joe Rogan because like a lot of the focus on the episode was like, oh, you beat up this big black guy. Oh, how was it? How did you do it? You know, so I was kind of creeped out by the Joe Rogan thing because I was like, what's this Jake Shields guy? And how's he known for beating up big black dudes? I think he beat up like Rampage Jackson or something like that. I don't know. It was like somebody like that. All right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He beat up somebody. He beat up like somebody important, right? That was like a well-known fighter or whatever. And yeah, so I remember him on the Joe Rogan Experience or whatever. So yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So this is like an Alex Jones adjacent like op, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, 100%. And like I've never really paid much attention to Jake Shields, but definitely the fact that he's like overtly like hanging out with like Patriot Front and Gypsy Crusader, and he's not canceled.
Right.
Like to me, that's extremely interesting. Like,
yeah, well, he said at the end, like, I took down black guys, and I was like, this is a big N-word, and he said, I'm not gonna say it, but he said it in front of this guy. So he's a pretty crazy dude.
Yeah. Well, the thing that I'm coming to the conclusion of is that a lot of the racial stuff, for a very long time, has been overtly allowed, but it's been like hidden, like where the source of the funding and all that's coming from. So I never really realized that until recently, but like the research I've done recently, it's like it's definitely there's definitely something going on for sure with that stuff. You know, and I wish I had my thoughts organized on it, but like I think a big part of this stuff has been like a total psyop for a very long time. So and I think it goes for both sides, on the black and the white side for sure. And I'm definitely noticing that on the yellow side, you know, the Asians and Indians, they're definitely ramping it up big time as well. So that's kind of why I'm interested in this, because I think this is like they're trying to hang on to this narrative for blacks and whites, but really I think it's to distract that they're really moving on to like Asia essentially, and they're going to do it with Asians, you know, like the entire continent of Asia. I mean, not just like China or something, but like I think all the Eurasians, I guess, you know, that's going to be the big thing. So let's play a little bit of this.
That's where all black people come from.
Are you now?
Yes, we are. That's where all.
Right.
Well, they
that's
have a
where all
Eurasian
men
thing
come
here.
from. Don't you know?
Because he calls him like a Russian.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
So
exactly. He kept calling him Russian, Russian. which
So,
seemingly he's actually like half Indian, so it doesn't even really make sense. But
Gypsy Crusader is half Indian?
I mean, that's what his DNA allegedly says. Is he's like
You mean like Native American?
no, like Indian. Like his family's
Oh,
like
no way.
uh,
Oh, no way.
like
Okay, so that means
yeah.
cause somebody a long time ago wrote on my stream, you look like you're in the Gypsy Crusaders family or some shit.
Yeah, well,
Like somebody said that.
I think it's coming from Nick Fuentes people that they're saying, like, there's a whole like group of people like trying to expose Gypsy Crusader, and I guess he was
Being
like,
Indian. Interesting.
he's Roma, which is basically like Indian and European mix, but
Yeah, but it is it is like Eastern European, so I guess that's why he called him a Russian or whatever.
right, well, that's exactly right, but he tries to say that he's like Italian and Spanish and other things, which may or may not be true, but the point is that like his family looks very brown. They look very Sicilian. Honestly, he looks more Sicilian than anything to me. Like I've been around Sicilians. He looks very Sicilian, but you know, I mean that's just my opinion, but you know, but anyways,
Right. The Sicilians kind of look like me too, honestly.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I had a friend.
you can pass for Sicilian for sure.
Yeah, I had a friend whose dad was Norwegian, and he thought I was Italian one day. So it was kind of weird.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah,
Moment.
I mean, yeah, and but if you look at his family, like his family's all like you know, brown, but like I think his mom was like a tarot card like psychic person, and then his dad was some sort of business guy or whatever. And again, to me, like even if I was a white nationalist, I wouldn't care. But it's like it's just interesting because my opinion has changed. I think that like my hunch about Gypsy Crusader is that his family is very well connected to like the Catholic Church, the Knights Templar, Knights of Malta, something like that. That's my so I think that's kind of where his angle's coming from, if I had to guess, right? So I think he's Gypsy, yes, but I think ultimately like they're very tied to the Catholics. You know what I'm saying? And like, but what's weird is that Handsome Truth hates the Catholics and hates Nick Fuentes allegedly. And so like now all these people around Fuentes, I think, are saying that like Handsome Truth is Jewish and he's like Gypsy's handler. So I don't know exactly what the truth is, but that's kind of because like Gypsy Crusader, like from what I can tell, he has like a lot of pictures of like him in Rome and him wearing like knights, you know, knights, Knights Templar like adjacent kind of stuff, like the big red cross on a shirt and stuff like that. So like, I don't know if that's a LARP or what, but I just think that's kind of interesting. And obviously the whole like Mean Mr. Mustache, we was Nazis and stuff is kind of interesting, but this conversation is interesting for many reasons.
It's a LARP and it's not a LARP because it's like it's what it is like it's like the Israel support stuff, right? So they'll inadvertently support Israel and stuff, right? Even though they'll say stuff sometimes against Jews, right? Like he'll say,
No,
you know, he'll
Israel is
do,
the first
the
nation
mustache man
with
memes.
What I know is
where real men
Sorry,
come
I didn't mean
from.
to push the play
this is
I hit the wrong button. I was trying to
Right,
go back.
right, like mustache man memes and then support for Israel, right? So
Well, yeah. Well, and it's well. I was going to ask you, what is the ISP UK? Because I follow the Detroit version. I guess I followed them because they were wearing like some really interesting costumes and stuff, and so I just started following their channel.
That's the I think it's like Universal Practical Knowledge or something like that, UPK or something, right?
Is it related to
It's like Israel or something. But yeah. So anyways, it's a form of Black Hebrew Israelites that accepts the Native Americans and the South Americans and the Puerto Ricans into the 12 tribes, right? And they also accept the King James Bible, and they also accept the New Testament. So it's a really strange form of Hebrew Israelites. Right? There's Hebrew Israelites that just reject the New Testament. They reject the King James Bible. They try to stick to the old stuff, right? So the ISUPK is kind of different, right? They're kind of like more nuanced in their approach, right? In that they incorporate like other races and other parts of religion, right? Like Tazariak was saying, like King James was black and all this stuff, right? So that's really what these guys believe, right? So
Okay, interesting. So they're kind of more like historical revisionist Nation of Islam.
exactly,
I mean, Black Hebrew Israelite. Do you think they
yeah,
have
Black
any?
Hebrew Israelite, yeah,
Yeah, do you think they
exactly,
have any
right.
tie to Nation of Islam though? I'm asking for a reason that's not direct. So
They could in their origins, but I wouldn't be surprised if some of their founding members were part of organizations like that.
the reason
Right?
I ask is
They've
because
definitely,
like
yeah,
I think that the Nation of Islam, and I mean this is not really a surprise to you or a lot of people, but I just kind of like the angle I'm coming at it from because like I don't know much about this group ISPUK, but like or whatever they're called. But a lot of the Black Hebrew Israelites are just fascinating people because they're doing like it's like a very strange like historical, religious like Marxist postmodern. I mean, from my point of view, that's what it looks like, but that's what I'm trying to figure out. But again,
yeah,
that's not
yeah,
any
because
different
there's,
than the right wing
yeah,
people. So it's like the same shit, different flavor essentially.
yeah, yeah, because there's move to Israel and like follow the Torah and do like all this crazy stuff. So there's other people that have that too, but yeah. So there's different groups that believe different things.
This is what I know. I know that you niggas are so ashamed of your own history that you will do just about anything to run away from it. Even saying that something that is not yours is
I know you
yours.
white boys have such low self-esteem when you get around us that all
How?
you could try to do is call us black in the word in Latin. Let me tell you something. You might think we are niggas and nothing else, but
You are.
guess what? You had to rape our daughters to produce.
How
We
many
didn't rape
daughters are you
yours.
guys raping now?
We didn't rape your
How many
mama, your
daughters
grandmamas.
and wives
Your
and
So
mothers
that's
grandmamas raped
have
us.
you
actually
niggas raped?
Wait a minute.
actual,
Your
right?
grandmamas raped us.
From right, because if you go to the top university, right, it'll say that the monkeys were, closer to the black people, right? So um I mean that's what Darwin said. They don't say that anymore. Right now they might say it's like different,
Well,
right?
they did like the out of Africa thing, and then they say, well, like primates came from Africa, so they're saying it like in a different way, I guess, or something. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's like an indirect thing, and then now I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty weird, but it's like, but that's what I'm saying
Yeah,
is
but
like this is kind of
yeah.
a meta. This is kind of a meta discussion too, which is kind of it. That's kind of why it's fascinating to me. Is because like they're having like a social Darwinian debate and a postmodern debate, but it looks like just like a fight about race or something. So I don't know. To me, it's like very fascinating.
In slavery. Your
So now
grandmamas,
you guys are
your
doing it back
grandmamas
for
had to,
revenge
your
then.
grandmother had to
So are you
get
guys
me
doing it back for
to
revenge
put
now?
that thing on her because
Are
you
you
white
guys
boys
doing it
couldn't
for
handle
revenge
your
now, yes
business,
or
right?
no?
That's
See,
what
this
she
is
had to
why
do.
talking to
Say
these
that again.
people,
Say that
this
again.
is why talking to the Hebrew black Israelites is completely
It
ridiculous.
is when
You guys are
you're a
a
white boy
prison
that
gang.
ain't man enough to
You're a
handle the
prison gang.
conversation. When you're a
You're a
white
prison
boy,
gang.
when your
You
So
talk
whole
that
over
might
everybody.
when you're
be the theory that they have, right? That right, because how could King James end up being black other than they had mated with some Africans down the road or something like that, right? I don't know. So so I think like because he's saying that the ancestors raped black people, right? So I don't know. I've never really heard that before, right?
Yeah, me
Have you ever
too.
heard that?
I've heard people say like, oh, Thomas Jefferson and all this stuff. Like they
Oh yeah,
raped
he definitely raped
slaves
black
and
people. Yeah, he definitely raped black people. Like he had
yeah.
like a whole like a like a harem setup of like black slaves or something like that.
Well,
Like a weird dude.
yeah. Well, and the thing is this. Like, I'm not saying that that didn't happen, but I'm also saying like I think that the whole history of I think once you start pulling that card out, it's like you could say that anybody who's ever enslaved anybody has done that. So it's like the Greeks did it, the Romans did it. I mean, it's like how far do you want to
yeah,
take a
because
step back? I mean, it's like,
because they also had because as a counterfactual, there is that one slave lady that he gave her own house, and he treated her really good,
exactly, yeah.
like Sally
Well,
Hemings or something like that.
right, and that's the thing is like a lot. I think that there was a lot of consensual stuff going on too, and that's where it gets weird because like, and again, I'm not going on there, so.
Yeah, and then I thought they blamed some Sephardic Jays for that as well, right? So I
Well,
don't know. Why is
Columbus,
he blaming Whitey for
Col-
that now?
well, I think Columbus and Cortez were a lot of crypto Jews. See, again, this is the thing is like where it's like, we're told to hate Columbus, but then nobody ever talks about the fact that he was Jewish. Like, I really did not realize that he was probably Jewish until I was really reading your book. And like, I was like, oh, I thought I heard that before, but like, it's very rarely ever discussed, obviously, right? So it's like, and all these other
Yeah.
people who were doing like Spanish, conquistador, like how much of that was really like some sort of like
I think Cortez had like 2 or 3 Jayish guys
exactly.
on his ship.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
So
that I'm pretty sure they did, yeah. And
so it's
like I
like,
was looking at the French Revolution last night with Unseen because I was trying to refresh my memory because I used to read about it quite a lot. And they try to really cover it up, but there was a huge amount of like influence from like Switzerland and all these like weird bankers who were like funding wars using French money and French, like loose economic policies. You know what I mean? And so like there was all this like weird corruption on the bureaucratic level and internationally as well. And so all these things led to the French Revolution when they tried to dress it up like it was like freeing the people, but it was actually like very much it was I mean my personal opinion is basically very similar to like the Bolshevik Revolution, and also like I think the Cromwell Revolution in England was also like that. That's just my opinion. I can't prove that, but like all those 3 or 4 things, like they seem very closely related. You know what I mean? And I think and again, I'm not trying to say that your book is like saying something directly about the Jays, but I think that your argument that Columbus was coming over here for like some sort of like Kabbalistic manifest destiny or some shit is like it makes way more sense than the nonsense they try to like pass off as like
well,
getting lost
well,
looking for India to trade spices and shit. I mean, I think that's total nonsense.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I have a whole nother book, right, by Todorov, right? And I believe he says something about Columbus thinking that the world was like pear shaped, and at the top of like so there's like a hill right at the center of the world, right? And he thought there was a New Jerusalem on top of that, right? So he thought you could reach heaven by going on the earth, right? And traversing the earth and finding like heaven on earth. I'm pretty sure he wrote some crazy ass shit like that in his journal, right? So yeah,
The Angel Moroni, like Joseph Smith or some shit. Sounds like smoking that peace pipe.
yeah, he was on some tripped out stuff.
All right, I'm gonna play some more of this. Unseen. Hopefully you come back. Hopefully this isn't scaring you away.
Yeah, and that's why they said he thought like if you go too far you you fall off because it's the flat earth or whatever, right? But that's even weirder that they thought there was a hill in the middle of the world where there's like heaven on top of the hill. And it's like some wild shit.
Sounds like that poem on the Shining Hill or whatever. You know what I mean? I can't remember who wrote that, but
Right.
Who wrote that?
City on a Hill, John Winthrop, or is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, City on a Hill. Yeah.
You haven't shut your.
Let him talk. I know he's insulting you, but let him talk for a second. So you can, I know you're.
He has not. I've came on, and the only thing that he's done is sat there and try to talk over me the entire time.
Oh, got you. Say that again.
The only thing that you have done since I have come on here is try to talk over me the entire time.
No, I actually let you speak in the beginning until I saw that you just had such a low self-esteem. I thought I had a little manhood to you.
What low self-esteem do I have?
Who's low self-esteem?
I think you're projecting.
You know what you are? You are a white boy who all your life have always wanted to aspire to be better than black men. I bet you got beat up in school, didn't you? They
No,
must
I
have
didn't
beat
actually.
your ass. Yes, they did.
No.
Where you grow up at? Where you
No.
grow up at? See, that's
New
why
York.
listen, Newark, New Jersey?
I
You
said
grew up
New
in
York.
Newark, New Jersey.
I grew up in New York.
In New York. Oh, they definitely
Yeah.
beat your ass. They definitely beat your ass. That's why you
Well,
the
so
way
are you saying?
Sure
Wait a
you
second.
are. Listen,
Wait a second.
I
Wait a
grew up
second.
in
Wait a
New
second.
York too. We used to
Can we
kick
just-
you white boys. Which
Here,
one? Bensonhurst?
Wait a second.
Let him
Wait a
talk for a
second.
Howard
second.
Beach? Howard Beach?
So I'm just
What
curious.
area?
I'm just
What
curious
area?
now.
Don't be
Manhattan.
a bitch. What area?
You gotta-
Where
you
in
gotta
New
let him
York
talk
did
for
you
a
grow
second.
up
Go
at?
ahead, champ out. No,
Where?
it's fine.
Where?
It's fine. Go
See,
ahead.
I told you he ain't
Chip out.
nothing
Go
but a
ahead. Go ahead.
bitch. Listen, stop acting like
We'll
such
just do
a
2 or
chump.
3 questions.
Simple
and then,
question.
let's do 2
I'm
or
gonna
3
give him the
questions.
floor.
and we'll
I'm
wrap
gonna give him
up.
the floor.
Yeah.
Give me
Yeah,
a
yeah,
simple
these are the two
answer.
most racist people
Where
I
did
know.
you grow up at, chump? Where
I
did
grew
you
up in
grow
New York
at?
City.
Look at
Manhattan.
you. Look at you with your little tight suit on. You want to look tough with a tight
It's not
suit
looking
on.
tough, it's just
You's
looking
a bitch.
professional.
Where in New York
I mean, I
did
look
you
much-
grow
I
up
look
at?
much sharper than you-
Where
than
in
you
New
do.
York did you grow up at?
I
Say
just
it.
said I've answered this question
You
already
said
like
New
3
York
times.
City. Where?
Well, if you shut your nigga mouth, then you would hear the answer.
Where?
I've
Where,
already
white
said
boy?
the answer
Where?
like 3 times.
Where?
I said Manhattan.
Oh, you're a liar. You're a liar. You grew up out there with them Guidos and the rest of them.
Oh, you're talking about
chumps
Long Island.
out
I
there.
lived in Long
Not
Island for a while, too.
No. Out in Queens.
lived
You
out
wasn't.
there.
You didn't even get to Long Island. You grew up in
Right.
Queens. Got you a
Can
little
we
BS
can we
job,
move the conversation
and-
along
now
to
you
things
wanna
that
move it
actually
on.
matter,
Now
or
you
are we
wanna
just
move
going
on.
to
It
sit
matters
here
a
and
lot.
talk
You know
about where
why?
I'm from?
You know why it matters a lot? Because
Right,
your
sure.
racism is only based on your
Let's
lack of manhood.
let's just try to do 3 or 4
That's
questions,
all it
and
is.
we'll move on.
Like I could have
Okay.
seen if you
Without-
got on here and brought a good point. But you
I
just a
can.
man
If
with
you
lack.
bothered to
just a
be
man
quiet
that
for a
has
moment,
never
I would have
measured
plenty
up.
of
How
points.
about you guys both ask each other a couple questions real quick?
Yeah,
and then
did you
we'll
play
wrap it up.
sports? I've been asking nothing but questions. Did you play sports?
I did.
What'd you play?
Well, I played basketball for a time, and then I realized that sport is retarded, and I turned to fighting.
Oh, basketball's retarded. The sport.
Oh yeah, it's a nigger sport.
The sport. Oh, it's a poor thing. Poor thing.
Yeah, it's a nigger sport.
They must
It's
have
a waste
really
of time. I
handled
mean, no, it's a waste of
They
time
must
because the
have really
skills that
took
you
your
learn in there,
masculinity. You
the
went in
skills
that
that you
locker
learn
and
playing
saw them
basketball are
big dicks and was
useless.
fucked
They are
up,
useless.
wasn't You was fucked up. Let me tell you something, man. You have had a horrible life, and
Mm-hmm.
here's why: because you had to live with men that were better than you. See, that's what happens.
You mean those
little
same
white
men?
boys.
You mean those same
little
men
white
that burn
boys,
cities down?
You little white boys.
You mean
that-
those same men that are like
Listen,
lining up on the EBT
Listen,
stamp line?
you white boys like you.
You mean those same
Let me tell
men
you
that are
what happens with
slashing
you.
people's
As a
throats
young
on the
boy,
subway of New York
you
City?
start to
The same
come into
people
the
that
world
are
and you start
stabbing
to
young ladies on
realize
trains? Are you
that
talking
gotta
about those
grow up
people?
and live with black men.
Are you talking about those
And
people?
then you find out
Wait,
that
I'm just
black
curious.
men
What people are you
tougher
talking
than
about?
you. And
Right.
then you try to go into sports. Probably went in there and said, "Yeah, I'm gonna do that basketball." And then you went in there and found out you
All right, we're
wasn't
talking
shit.
over each other.
All
Just
right, let me-
2 or 3 minutes,
please.
and then we'll
Hey.
just go. Let him answer like 2 questions, and then you ask him
go
2,
ahead.
then let's move on.
Go ahead, poor boy. Couldn't measure up in basketball.
yeah.
How far did you get?
Let him ask your questions.
Did you go
too.
past high school? Did you play in college?
Are we gonna
I'm
talk about
sorry
things that
what
matter?
happened to you.
It's like taunting him about the basketball thing. And also about where he grew up, right? I guess if you grow up in a poor area, right? He's trying to say, like, well, if you grow up in a poor area, right? It's like black people run that area or whatever.
Yeah, it's really funny because it's like it reminds me of just like a good old fashioned shit talking. Like is like I mean I remember when people used to talk shit like this. This is like really old school.
But 2 things are happening. The black person is putting his barbarism on display, and the white person is showing that he's recalcitrant to barbarism, and that he wants orderly cities and he wants to reduce crime. And it's kind of like this, like, sort of like, I wouldn't say it's a very like responsive attitude to what's going on.
Well, it's very stereotypical in so many different ways, I guess. I mean, it's like it is almost like a role, it's almost like a role play conversation or something. I don't know, to me personally. It's like you play the white guy, I'll play the black guy. We're gonna specifically show like, well, this is how I should react, and here's my justification, and here's how I should act, and here's my justification.
Man, I'm sorry.
Listen,
we could
I
be
just want you to
bullies
understand.
sometimes.
I just need you to understand.
We could be
something.
bullies sometimes.
I don't really
You look like you tried to
care
pass. You got a tanning
about
salon at home.
how much
got
you
a
want to
tanning salon
chimp
in that
out.
house, don't you?
The only
Tell
thing
the
that it
truth.
really does is it proves
Go ahead.
exactly what I've
Go
been
ahead.
talking about for
Go
years.
ahead.
that these animals capable of civil debate. That's why the only thing they really understand is
We are
violence.
animals.
He is the leader
are
of a
animals?
prison gang.
Let me tell you something.
Okay?
Don't lie on me. See, you such a
No,
bitch.
it's not a lie. It's not a lie because I went to prison. I went to federal prison and I seen exactly what the black Hebrew Israelites are when they were in prison.
Planning to be
they
a
were
big
selling
guy.
drugs. They were raping other
Black
inmates.
man just destroyed your life.
Okay, they were raping other inmates.
I know.
They were causing chaos and radicalizing other black inmates to hate white people.
You know what?
You
know what you filthy Russians have done?
Okay.
You know what? You slaughtered your own leaders, the whole entire Bolshevik family.
That was Jews too.
The Bolsheviks are Jews.
Yeah,
so
they were
he mixed up a lot there, right? Because he said you Russians slaughtered your own leaders, the Bolshevik family, and then he accused him of being a leader of a prison gang, right? Which is a much more serious claim, right? Because that means he's complicit in a number of crimes, right, that have gone on within the prison system, right? Including rape, right? So I think that is a very bold claim, right? This man could very well just be working within the community, right? I think that is just that's like a slanderous claim, right? First of all. But then the other claim, right? And he said the Bolshevik he said you slaughtered your own people, the entire Bolshevik family, you Russian. So I mean he's not exactly a Russian. Right, and then the Bolshevik family, I think he means the family of the Tsar or something like that, right? I think that's what he means, right? And then like they slaughtered the people that were in charge of Russia, right?
Well, but you hear
then
Jake and Gypsy say that that's Jews though. So he's saying that like Russians killed their own people, but he's like, but isn't that the Jews that
right
killed the Russian family? So there, he's kind of like, and he says the Holodomor, you starved your own people, and both of those guys are like, well, isn't that the Jews? And so, and you notice he doesn't say anything, and it's almost like because I guess he thinks that like, well, they're not even really Jews; they're just white boys pretending.
That's exactly right. Yeah, those are not the real Jews, right? So remember, he thinks he's a Jew. So they've been Jews since day one. So who are these Jews? They've got to be imposters, right? So this is the thing: it's white people pretending to be Jews, right? According to them, right? And there's some truth to that, right? Because how did the Russians? How did they take over in Russia, right? They were obviously working with white people, right? So, I mean, to a certain degree, it happened in Europe, right? So it's white people who let the Jews stay in Europe, right? So that's what happened, right? So so I guess he's saying to a certain degree, right? But on the other end, it's like, look, are you responsible for everything the Israelites do then? Right? So I guess it makes a point, right? But yeah, I don't know. It's all very contrived at this point.
No, that's the thing is like, yeah, no, I get your points because it is very convoluted, and it's almost just like, I mean, to me, it's like both these guys are working for Jews running a psyop, but I mean, that's, what is a Jew then? So that, so then, yeah, so then that begs the question, of course. So yeah, but either way, like, and this is kind of something that I try to make a central thing is that whatever these people are, the Jays or the Royals or whatever you want to call them, there's a lot of traitors in every single group of people.
Well, that's the thing is like, yeah, that's the thing is like with these guys, right? They could have a lot more footing, right? Because there could be somebody who's like in a Mexican gang who's like part of the ISUPK. I don't even know, right? I guess it's possible, right? Because you could be a South American and you're part of the lost tribes of Israel. Right? So so if you're a Puerto Rican, right, and a lot of Puerto Ricans cross over into different um, you know, things. So I mean, it's just really interesting, right? So I mean, so I mean, you could be very expansive and tie into a lot of different organizations. It is very interesting that the ISUPK, they've gotten a lot of high profile debates like on the Kill Stream, on this Jake Shields and all these other platforms. They tend to get around, right? They've debated Andrew Wilson, right? So they tend to get around a lot, right? Going and debating some top people, right? So, they must have a pretty good promotional team. I mean, whoever they're working with.
For sure, and I think that's kind of where it gets sketchy because
Yeah, and I suspect it's because they have this, a New Testament approach, right?
well, there's definitely some sort of religious overtones to everything that these guys are doing because Gypsy's saying he's a Catholic, Handsome Truth says he hates all Christianity, and it's a psyop to like get everybody to worship Jews and stuff. So and I don't know much about Black Hebrew Israelite, but I do know that like there's a lot of Prislam and there's a lot of like we was kings and we was Jews in prison. So like I'm not saying that means that this guy is directly related to that, but like
Yeah,
I've met black
like
guys
one
who
of the
told me about
debates.
it. So
Yeah,
God,
yeah,
I've
like
heard
one of the
before.
debates we looked at, right? Like with Tazariak, right? The guy who was against Tazariak and against the Black Hebrew Israelites, right? He was a different kind of a Hebrew. He was rejecting Paul, right? So he was rejecting the New Testament, right? So these guys will defend the New Testament and Paul. The ISUPK, right? So it's pretty interesting, right?
Well, and that's kind of what that John Fugelsang guy was saying, and that's also what Genesis Peorge was saying as well. So that's kind of like where it's kind of weird. It's just like
Yeah,
all
but they
these.
might be anti. I think they might be anti Paul, right?
Which one? The Genesis Peorge or whatever?
Fugelsang is anti Paul in the debate.
Oh yeah,
He
exactly.
starts saying, yeah.
Exactly. Yep. And yeah, it's just pretty weird. It's just pretty strange. Let me play a little bit of this. I gotta check something. Hold on a second.
People.
They're not Russian. They're Jews. That's why they killed the white Russian family. That's why they killed the white Russian monarchy.
And they were the best family.
What are you talking about? What is he talking about?
You haven't had shit since then. And listen, and many of your leaders
is this
today
fucking
are still
serious?
mixed inside. Your leaders today are still mixed with them.
I don't think we're
I think we're getting
No, you're not going to get anywhere. Especially, I'm surprised.
He's getting
I'm surprised you even have this mongrel
he's been a
on.
punk his whole life. For the first time in his life, he's finally finding out why he's been so wound up like a top and he's been such a fucking failure in his life. I'm giving him tough love. This is good. This is what men do to men. Men teach men not to be a bitch like you. Men teach men that you don't have to wear a tight suit to try to act like you're tough.
At least I have a suit.
You understand?
At least I have a suit that fits me, you fat nigger.
Accept that shit.
At least I have a nice suit that fits, you fat nigger.
Okay? Accept that shit.
Yeah. Can you even stuff those tits into a suit? Can you even stuff those tits into a suit?
Don't you
Who
worry.
raised you? Who raised you, mama?
Listen.
Who raised you, mama?
Listen.
Where's daddy at?
We're not going after your
Where's
white girls
dad?
no more, okay? I'm
Where's
trying to
dad?
help you out. We're starting a new leaf. No more of them flat ass white girls for us.
Right, whatever. I know, my dick.
Oh,
Yeah, I know, my dick.
You understand? Okay, and listen, it looked like you got Vaseline on your face. Is that Vaseline? Oh, you want to be a nigga so bad.
No, nobody wants to.
Myself into
For what reason? For what reason would?
Yeah, he got him for the Vaseline thing. Yeah, because if you look at black people, they do have shiny skin. They have great skin. I'm brown, so we have terrible skin. We get like, really dry skin. So black people and Asian people have the best skin and hair, I think. So yeah, he's put a lot of products on his face. But yeah, he puts paint on his face, right? So it's like for that, right?
Because like it when you put I've only painted my face a few times like for Halloween, but like that shit is terrible for your skin. So like if you do that a lot, I don't know what you're gonna have to do to take care of your skin, but
Yeah, because he looks like a little fucked up. Like he looks like puffy and red and shit.
Yeah,
but yeah, he does look weird as fuck.
He could be on some he could be doing some juice or something because he works out a shitload.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how guys I don't know how guys go to the gym without steroids like all the time because like dude like
he's responding way slower. Like he's responding way slower than the other guy.
Yeah.
He's just kind of like cooled out. Like he looks like he's like on drugs.
He
like
drinks.
The black dude.
He drinks and he works out a lot. So between those two things, like that shit'll blow you. Those like when I go to the gym, which I don't go that often, but like when you really go and you work out hard, like you're fucking sluggish, dude. Like you cannot. You're like it puts you. It takes a long time to recover from that shit. So plus, if you drink on top of it, like I don't know, I don't know how you can like drinking and working out is like a bad combo in my opinion. But plus, he might be juicing for sure. So if you're doing steroids or something, like I don't know, it's a whole nother ball game. Because like I don't know if you ever seen Gypsy without a shirt on, but he's a big motherfucking dude. I mean he's got a lot of muscle mass to carry around. So he's a big ass dude.
Anybody want to
Poor
be
fella.
part of this
Because we the
absurd,
greatest nation on earth.
idiotic,
You know why?
mongrel people?
You know why?
For what?
Because you get into
They have
basketball
accomplished nothing.
and you lose.
There has
We
not
get into
been one
basketball
invention out of the
and we
continent of
become famous
Africa,
worldwide.
the entire
That's why.
length of human
That's
history.
why.
There has not been
Please.
one thing that these niggas have
Are you
accomplished.
stupid?
They didn't even have the
Civilization
wheel. They had
existed
no
before you
spoken
came out the
language.
cave, dumbass.
They had nothing.
Listen,
If
the
it was not
Bolsheviks
for
had to give you a
colonization,
nation.
and which they are
Before
still
the
doing
white
right
Jews
now,
went up
despite
there and fixed
colonization,
your nation, you
they
was
are
eating
living
out of
in
your
mud
grandfather's
huts.
skull,
You want to
you
see?
animal.
You
You
want
was
to see?
eating out of your
Let me show. Oh,
grandfather's
you
Closing
skull.
arguments.
who's eating who?
You understand?
You want to talk about who's
Please.
eating who? Are you sure?
So
And
yeah,
stop
that might be
the tanning
Are you
going
sure?
way
Okay.
too far,
Can you
right?
stop the tanning salon?
Here, let's.
Right, because it may be true that during the Roman Empire, the people in Europe were relatively not that advanced, right? But yeah, during the time of the Bolshevik Revolution, definitely they were pretty advanced. They definitely weren't like medieval or anything. So yeah, and yeah, I don't really think like unless you follow like evolution, right, which would then say that black people are closer to monkeys.
Stop
And
Let's
how
talk
could
about
you
who's
follow
eating
that
who.
if you're
Stop trying to be.
if you're reading the King James Bible, right? So how could you say that white people came from black people? I don't know. Um. So yeah, I don't know.
I had too many screens open. Yakub and shit. Are you still seeing the screen that I had up? Hold on one second. No, I gotta put it back. Hold on one second.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, can you see it now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Be cool.
Is this who's eating who?
Okay.
Who's eating who?
Okay. How stupid you are.
You're
You
the same
think
shit.
all
Oh, this is
brown
not your
skin
people
out
that
the
they have.
caves. But brown people have been on.
Yeah, I was trying to skip over that part, but I missed it. My bad. But yeah, he does. He shows that quite often actually on his stream. So like some gore stuff over here.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, definitely could just be like AI shit. Like who knows? Like
Yeah, I
they
mean,
definitely look
I
kind of
hope it
fake.
is, but I don't know. I don't want to find out.
Still are.
Like
But
this
the
one?
only reason you're not accountable today
You
is
like this
because
one?
you conquered the earth.
How
That's
about that
the only
one?
reason. And those
Is that
are
one
not our
good?
people.
Those are your people. They're
No,
black.
They're not.
These are not your
that's
people?
How ignorant
They're
you
the same
are.
skin color as you.
That's
Let me
the
tell you
thing
how
is
stupid you
like
are.
they
They're
do have like Jeffrey Dahmer and shit, and so it's like motherfuckers are still eating people today. It's just like probably in every country. I mean, but it's like the dark arts or in some
That's
fucking adrenochrome.
Well, that's what's interesting about it is, like, and I think I said this to Anna too when we watched this. It's like it's kind of like covering up the fact that all the different voodoo groups of every color is involved in that shit. So that's what's kind of weird about this. It's kind of like, and again, this is like where I feel like this is like a QAnon adjacent, like nod at, you know what I'm saying? Like this is kind of like, I don't know, I don't know. To me, it's just kind of weird.
Right.
It's like a kind of a weird QAnon thing entering the. It's not direct, but it's like I think he kind of says like, "You white people eat white people," and he's like, "Oh, let me show you. This is black people eating black people, or whatever." So.
This is not your people, you stupid.
When you white people, you're one people that came.
How you like this? You like this? It's nice, right?
You're
very nice culture that they have.
But brown people have been on
very
the
nice. Yeah, the brown people eating each other.
10,000 years, stupid. And
right, the brown people eating each other. Sure.
Many types of us, many peoples, but you're one people, a caveman. Don't nobody get referred to as a caveman but you. Listen, man, I know it was tough in New York because, boy, we used to bust y'all ass in New York.
Right, yeah, sure.
You probably didn't even leave the neighborhood. You probably hung around with them Italians and tried to pretend to be tough.
I just want to understand, so I'm very clear. What you're saying is
you try to pass as
you
Italian?
guys in New York were committing a massive amount of violence against white people. Is that what you were saying?
I mean, it's pretty clear that,
that was kind of feminine.
You know, we came from indigenous people, right? Because indigenous people exist on every continent, right? So it's the most obvious answer for where we came from, right? We clearly lived in the jungle. We're clearly meant to like live in a jungle. It's just that because we created civilization, we deforested the entire planet, and now we're desertifying the entire planet. So, I mean, this is the true thing of civilization, right? We were a mixed race, indigenous people, and like we all fought and killed each other all the time. You know, like we didn't know the person who lived like, you know, like 20 miles like in the next village, like most of us. So it's just, there probably weren't that many villages. Like it's like probably like a few hundred villages around the world. It's like most likely.
No, but I think that like personally, I like the theory that you talk about the people coming from like that area, like where Indonesia and stuff like that is. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's French Polynesia. Yeah, because that's where they have the languages, and like if you look at Samoans, like it's pretty clear we came from like those types of people. And, like,
honest with you, I
think we all came.
I think Samoans and Maori are some of the most beautiful people in the world, honestly. So like.
Yeah, and they don't look like Asians. Yeah, like they don't look like Asians. They don't look like white people. They don't look like black people. Right, but they look like all of them. So it's like it's weird, dude.
This right there with the hand.
Yes or no?
What was your question?
Are you saying that you commit a mass amount of violence in the cities? Is that what you're saying?
Let me ask you a question to answer your question.
That's very rude to answer a question with a question.
Well, we're men.
But go ahead.
It ain't rude to real men. Once again, a bitch ass like you is probably a little offensive. I know.
Right.
You
no, but if you can't answer the question, go ahead.
Wave your hair back. My wife waves her hair back like that.
If you can't answer the question, go for it.
Let me
her real hair or the wig that she wears? Her real hair or is it the wig? Is it the weave? How much did you have to pay for that at the weave store?
How much you pay for that?
Yeah, now they're going into some weird shit where he's making fun of him for being feminine, and that's the thing, and then he's making fun of him for being like an old, I guess, black dude or whatever. But yeah. But yeah, this devolves.
I genuinely find this actually funny though. Like, like that's why I actually like watching Gypsy Crusader, because like it just, I think it really just like forces people to like show whatever their real feelings are about it. But it's also, it's weird because like almost every single time people start trash talking each other, they start laughing. And so like it almost doesn't seem like it's real, almost like where like they have this animosity and then they say it out loud and then they get embarrassed of like what they're saying. You know what I mean? That's kind of why I like watching Gypsy Crusader, because it's like he says stuff to the black people say stuff to him, and then they end up laughing and then they move on. I mean, not always, but quite often it turns into like they're like kind of laughing at themselves and laughing at the other person. So like it's very strange. Like I'm sure there's probably some like MK Ultra psychologist watching it all, like trying to figure out like how to weaponize it or something. But I think that's interesting.
Homie,
how much you have to pay for that at the weave store?
How much you have to pay for that guy sitting up there to go along with that tight suit, sexy man?
My tie?
Sexy man.
It's called a tie, not a dye. It's called a tie.
Suit. Tight.
Yeah, it's a nice suit.
It's a gay suit. Now let me ask you a question.
I know, it's very short. Thank you.
You killed over 1 million people in Iraq. You killed over 1 million people in Afghanistan. You killed over 1 million people in Vietnam. 1 million at a time in those lands. You killed millions in Central and South America. But a low-life chump like you, who could never be a man and face what he's done in the earth and his people has done, you'll believe in your little stupid weak mind because you was offended that you failed at basketball. Now black people are the big enemy, and all the millions that your people killed, you don't want to even mention. How the hell you gonna look at black people like we're the violent ones when you done killed millions across the world? Because why? Because you're such a feminine man that the only thing that offends you is that you lost a basketball game. That's why you'll never be a man.
Your logic
You'll
is
put a
truly
tight suit on, you dye your hair, you
Your
talk
logic
about
is truly
Yeah,
but you're really not a man.
I think
That's what
I think
bothers you,
that
white
has
boy.
to be a
White
pretty
boy-
good point, right? Because see, and I don't blame this all on white people, right? But it is clear that like the Christians and the Muslims, right, and the Merovingians and like the Habsburgs and shit, right? Like Suleiman the Magnificent, like they could not kill that many fucking people, right? But once you get to the British Empire and America and all those people, right, and even Russia and China and stuff, right? You get to some of those wars, right? Yeah, they did kill like millions of people, right? So and I think that mostly is because they became technologically advanced, right? Because in Britain they had like ships and stuff, right? And they had like guns and stuff,
Well, and they
right?
had funding, and I think that, I mean,
Right,
again,
exactly. They had J-ish funding, so it's
well,
like
and that's kind of,
you get like tons of funding.
and I think this is really where the trap is being laid and stepped into by both sides, because he's saying, well, we're the real Jews, so like the Jews who did that are just white people, and then Gypsy's leaning into it, and then he justifies like, well, those are just wars, or those are wars, and you're comparing like warfare to like street crime. And so it gets a little muddy, but I think, and murky, but I do think it's a very interesting thing because, like this is one of the arguments that, I mean, you know me for 2 or 3 years now. So like you've noticed like one of the things I really push is like that just war question, right? Like, were white people used to enslave the world for them, like as like for their own benefit, or do they do it under the guise of Christianity, or do they do it under the guise of crypto Judaism, or do they do it under the guise of technique, or you see what I mean? But there's no denying that, like, well, first of all, white people we are kind of like cave people in some senses, okay? In the sense that we are very if you offend us, or you put us in a position where we feel trapped, like we are extremely violent, and we're very good at planning violence and all that. So whether that's our blood or our culture or whatever it is, I don't know. But like, yeah, I mean, I think that's something that we should be aware of. Whether we should be proud of it or not, probably not, because it's not. I don't think that's a very Christian thing to do, is to like be good at that. But at the same time, like, I think we should be honest of like, why were we put in that position, primarily with the British Empire, for sure. You know what I mean? I think. And also the fact that like it's like the German English Empire, right? And you have a lot of Yiddish speakers, you know what I'm saying? So there's this kind of weird like German, Jewish, English, Anglo connection that is pretty weird. And then it goes with technology, it goes with the Kabbalah, it goes with all these things. So yeah, so I agree with you on that point. I think that the black dude bringing that up, it is a strong argument, because honestly, it sounds like something that I've talked about, and I try to bring up to Christians a lot, of like, should we be proud about World War I and World War II? Really? Should we be proud about all these wars all over the world and all the things we participated in?
Well, that's
like,
the thing.
it's like, why do we do that, essentially?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like it gets harder to justify as time goes on, does it not? Right. As it's like, it's like, like Britain going and like getting shit, right? So they could do like commerce, right? And then the Americans being like, yeah, we're gonna start our own colonies and get even fucking richer than all you motherfuckers because we're gonna have land and shit. and right, and then they created the fucking Industrial Revolution and shit. So I mean, obviously, it's been a terrible result, right? And after you have the Industrial Revolution, you could like mass produce like tanks and shit, right? I mean, yeah, I mean after that, World War I, World War II. I mean, it's just an obvious mistake. And then you get to like the Cold War, which is just basically just an excuse for technological advancement. And then you have like, the War on Terror, which is just like literally just for Israel. It's like 5 dancing Israelis or whatever, right? And it's just like boom, you're off to the horse races. And there's just millions of people dead in a flash. So, I mean, yeah, it gets harder to justify as time goes on, right? And now everybody's, I mean, they're sick of it. They want to bring in some sort of obviously techno-humanism, right? And yeah, it's even worse than
Well,
like previous history that we've had, right? Like it's gonna force a universal peace that's gonna literally be tyrannical, right? Because it's like mutual destruction is fucking assured at this point, right? So it's like, so like this is where we're headed, and obviously I've rang the alarm, but yeah.
Well, and I think, and it kind of goes directly to like why people like Gypsy and George Lincoln Rockwell and Nick Fuentes and Kanye West and all these guys, they lean into the whole like me, Mr. Mustache was either A, the good guy, or B, he wasn't as bad, or C, he was a victim, or whatever version of it they have. The whole point is that they're doing their own revisionist history, which again, like as a white person, it is very tempting to take that bait, because you're like sitting here looking like, why did we go fight Germany in World War One and World War Two and gas all these people that on the battlefield, not in chambers? I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying that didn't happen either. I'm just saying that, like, people forget that, like, they were literally like throwing mustard gas at like 15 feet away into other people's like little holes they were living in to like not get shot at or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it was very extremely barbaric, like on a level that people can't really fathom, I think, if we're to believe history, at least. I mean, so it's like, I mean, just like truly like satanic warfare, was unleashed. And for what? You know what I mean? Like, what was the purpose of it all? It's like, okay, I mean, so yeah. So the point is that I'm trying to get at is that, like, this is the bait that they're.
I mean, it's terrifying feats. I mean, it's terrifying feats of destruction to anesthetize the herd, is it not?
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. Well, and I think that's kind of where. That's the kind of weird.
Let's just blow up a bunch of caves, in the desert, because we're looking for,
one guy in a cave.
Osama bin Laden.
On dialysis.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, and again,
yeah,
like, I'll tell you, like, as someone who
obviously they're testing. Yeah, they're testing these bunker busters or whatever, right? That they're using now in Iran or whatever.
And what are they going to use that for in the future? Probably all of us hiding in the Appalachian Mountains.
GRUs or whatever.
Trying to hide from.
It's called GRU or.
Right, we're trying to hide from the hunter-killer drones that are going to be looking for us with Skynet, So I mean, this is where I was thinking about when I was a kid, and like, I was really against the Iraq War because I kind of perceived that it was all, nonsense for the most part. I mean, again, I'm not saying there wasn't real bad people out there in the cave somewhere, but at the same time, like,
Yeah, GBU. Sorry, it's called GBU. 57A, yeah.
What is that?
Bunker buster bomb.
Nice. Yeah, but I mean, but that's the thing is, like, what's all that weaponry really for at the end of the day? And now, like, they don't even have people driving the drones. It's going to be like a all automatic AI Skynet shit.
Boys like you, not all white boys, but Jake don't fall in there. Jake's a tough guy, but white boys like you're so offended at our masculinity. You're so offended that we walk harder than you. You lose a game.
What masculinity is that?
You know what? You're the type
of have some of the highest. They have some of the highest
here's the point that he makes,
statistics of homosexuality in their community.
That's a pretty good point. Because he tells him, he says, well, you're comparing violence in the street to international warfare. right? Which is a pretty good point, right? But
He will throw down. He does got balls at least.
Yeah, he probably
he'll
takes
fight people
steroids.
to his face.
Yeah, it probably takes a bunch of steroids just to be a man.
I like the guy.
He's the type of guy that becomes a cop just so he can get revenge on black people for losing the basketball game.
No, I don't really like police officers at all. I really wish they weren't around. I wish they weren't around so that people like me could be let off the leash.
Nothing.
Why? He's pretty good. We sparred a little bit. We were just playing.
Come on, Jay. Yes, he was just playing. You know, if you opened up on his bitch ass,
we didn't want to turn it into a fight.
You crack his nose one time, he crying about how his little cute face done got fucked up.
I hear
you
he can actually fight. People saying with him, they say he can fight.
Please. What has he accomplished? Nothing. Why? Because all he tried to do his whole life is be better than the brothers. And the brothers
I'm just waiting for my time to respond.
I told you,
this is how civil debates
are. You can join in anytime you get ready.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to talk over
people. And I appreciate that you.
I don't talk like that. If I'm gonna have a civil debate on Jake's show,
when I'm talking, shut the fuck up. And that's what she does. And I like the fact that you respect that you respect your feminine position. Now,
I have impulse control.
Please take the floor.
Yeah,
You're such a good guy.
Now this is the problem here, right? This is not going to be an Omegle type of conversation, right? These guys yell at people on the street, you know. So like they like scream and yell. Like, have you ever seen these guys preaching on the street? It's crazy stuff.
Enough that I would be pretty
crazy suits on and shit, and they're like, you know, yeah, man, they're fucking wild.
But you know,
yeah, exactly.
You're
like
such a tough guy.
Shit.
Come on, tough guy. What do you want to tell me?
Are you done?
I'm just getting started. I'm trying to let you get in. You can't
well,
even
again,
debate.
I'm gonna again. If you do want to control,
do you want to say something or not?
Well, I would love to.
The Vaseline is dripping, buddy. Let's get it on.
All right. So now that we've established something, you are comparing war, things that happen in war, from Vietnam to Iraq. You're comparing that to what goes on in major cities in civilized society every day. This is your comparison.
Those were civilized societies,
it's completely absurd though, because we were at war.
Societies.
Are you gonna? Okay, I let you go.
No, you said your answer. You said I'm comparing the two.
Take it easy.
You said I'm comparing the two.
You are comparing two things that are completely polar opposites.
Murdered millions of people in
again.
Civilized
You're
society.
comparing things that shouldn't be compared.
Go ahead.
You have a civilized society here in America. We are not currently at war on this land with anybody. Okay, there's nobody in there, but yet in every city, it is a fucking war zone. In the south side of Chicago, next weekend, 50 blacks are going to kill another 50 blacks. Okay, this is what's going to happen.
How many people did Al Capone kill?
Okay.
How many people did Al Capone and his cohorts kill?
And again, listen, when the mafia did it, it was wrong too.
Black people killing each other.
It was wrong
too. To be like you.
Okay, the mafia, when they kill each other, it's wrong. I am not here advocating for murder of anybody. What I'm saying is very simple. That we have black people who are living in our cities, and it makes them inhabitable because the violence is out of control.
You know why?
Nobody wants to walk down the street anymore. They're worried about getting robbed. They'll see it.
I don't advocate crime and things like that. But you know what? You're too weak to see the reason why. You're too weak to see what your people do.
The reason why is because you guys are completely moronic.
No,
you guys don't have impulse control.
That's an easy excuse.
You guys are low IQ savages. You always have been. You always will be.
It's easy excuse.
It's very simple to understand.
All right, I don't think
because he couldn't play basketball.
I don't think we're going anywhere.
That's an easy
Any closing things? I was just going to on 10 minutes.
No, Jake.
Anything else you want to add?
You think he would actually look at what caused those things to happen? You think he would actually look?
I'll call you later. But I think I've got my point across.
Of course, to you, Ronald Reagan pouring drugs into our neighborhood, starting from California.
Who put a gun to your head and made you take them?
Oh,
they let him.
Who put a gun to your head and made you take them?
No, not even censoring it. They had the N-bomb in the video without censoring it, straight up.
Yeah, no,
crazy.
Exactly. Yeah, well, I don't know how they got this on YouTube, but I guess.
Yeah, this is on his real channel. Yeah, like they're not even censoring it out all the time. Wild. Yeah.
Stupid.
Nobody. You did it to yourselves.
So then
you did it to yourselves because you can't control yourself.
So are you saying that all the white people who died and destroyed their lives in the white communities on fentanyl, it was all their fault, right?
It was not only their fault, but it was the drug dealer who they bought it from.
There was no drug dealers.
Who did they buy it from then?
There was no drug dealers in West Virginia, my friend.
It fell out of the sky.
There was no drug dealers in West Virginia.
I'm not saying that there's not white drug dealers. Of course there is.
Okay, so
the vast majority are your
Boise.
Yeah, So, I mean, there's different ways to slice the pie, and assess the blame. You could go to the medical industry, you could go to the government, right, that allows the drugs to be traded, right, and sometimes proliferates their use, right, through said medical system, right. There's also the users, right. So I don't know. Well, I think what percentage of that are black people to blame for? I'd say relatively small, right? Like maybe like Mexicans, the government, and like a bunch of other people play a huge role, right? And I don't even think that fentanyl, isn't it tied to opium, right? So I don't know.
It's very interesting because like this is the kind of this stuff where it's like you really could blame everybody. It's like the government, it's the white people fighting the wars, it's the people shipping it, it's the Chinese with the chemicals, it's the cartels smuggling it, it's the blacks distributing it, it's the white people using it. It's like it's everybody's got a little blame in it, so it's like it's kind of a weird. But again, they never point fingers back to like how it's been weaponized throughout history. Like drugs have always been used in history to like do like covert warfare. So this is like not, this is literally like really really old stuff that they used alcohol and drugs as like a weapon. So you know, but it's kind of good because they kind of both caught each other off balance on this issue. So that's what I'm saying. Like this is why it's kind of interesting. Is like they both kind of like caught each other up with some of this kind of like commentary because like it's the black people doing it, and it's black people selling it, it's black people killing each other, but then it's the white people using the drugs and selling the drugs, and so fighting the wars as well. So I don't know, it's pretty weird.
Idaho.
I know you're about to start your show too, so I better like give you some time because I think you're about to go live too. So I remember I saw your thing somewhere a second ago, but
Yeah, I think I just recently changed it to an hour later or something.
no, but it's all good. So but yeah, we'll take a break here, and I have some more stuff too, but I'm gonna go do some family stuff because I have to do some work tonight too. So, but yeah, it was good to good impromptu there. But
Yes, no worries.
appreciate you being here. We'll do some more like fun stuff next time. This was pretty funny though, and but blessings to everybody. And Unseen, hopefully you're still there, but we'll do this again soon, man. All right, bye everybody.